Hello! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Tatiana Monet, and on this channel, I just document my journey into motherhood. I am a new mother of a 1-year-old little boy. I also document my journey into launching my own business. I have a stationery / journal business that is dedicated to helping people express their truth, express and connect deeper with themselves, deeper with God, deeper with the universe, and hopefully deeper with each other. So yeah, this channel is just me living out my authentic truth and sharing it with the world and hoping that other people resonate with my story, with my truth, and maybe we have similar pain, similar dreams, and that we can just do this journey together. With all that being said, today I wanted to take some time to talk about my launch, or my failed launch. In 2023, I had planned to launch my business, Write About It Co., my first collection in November. November 23rd was my launch date, and I did not launch. I posted one video on this channel talking about my anxiety I was battling surrounding my launch, and I never talked about my launch again. So I just kind of wanted to come on and kind of just have a story time of my experience having a failed launch and what I'm doing after the fact. So like I stated, I was supposed to launch in November and I didn't. And the overarching reason why, it just wasn't time yet. It just was not time yet. Like, I still have a lot of emotions about it. And the moment of me realizing I was not going to launch my business when I thought I was going to, it really hurt. I was confused. I was angry. I was sad. I felt like I failed. I felt like maybe I shouldn't start this business at all. Maybe I'm not good enough. Like, just so many things came up. And looking back, it just wasn't the right time. January 2022, I gave birth to my son. So all of 2022, I was just battling postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. And anyone who has ever given birth or has been a new parent, like, mental health and emotional health and even physical health, like, you're just trying to survive. Like, most of 2022, sorry if I've been saying 2020, I mean 2022. But most of 2022, I was just trying to survive. Like, I was just focused on my bare needs, like my base needs, like just like the bare minimum. And in that, I got inspired, like in my depression, in my new motherhood, I got so much inspiration for a new collection, and I started to work on it, and I was like, I'm gonna launch this is amazing. And it just didn't happen because I was struggling. I was really struggling, and I'm still struggling, like, mental health wise, but I'm on a more upward swing. And yeah, so basically I feel like the biggest reason, it just wasn't time for me to launch because of all the things I was dealing with. And the collection I'm planning on launching is all about prioritizing yourself and self-love. And here I am pouring into this collection, creating this product, and I'm not loving myself and I'm not taking care of myself. So it just felt like one of those things where no matter what I did, that product, that collection was never going to launch successfully because I wasn't taking care of myself, like it wasn't sitting right. Like, God wouldn't let me, like, go out and encourage people to do this, but I'm not even doing it to myself. And so that was the biggest thing. It just wasn't the right time for me. And there were things I just didn't think of. Like, I was so focused on creating the product that I didn't promote the launch. And then also it's handmade, and I didn't get the materials needed. So I just was solely focused on like creating the interior pages of my journal that I didn't like, there was just too many factors. Do you know what I mean? Like there was so much I was already juggling that I felt like I was doing all that I could. I was staying up later and working on this product that some of the like details slipped through the cracks of like getting the materials I need to make the journal and promoting and those kind of things. They just slipped through the crack because I had so much else going on. And in the moment, like I so desperately wanted this launch because of the fact I was struggling with postpartum depression, and I am determined that just because I'm a mom now, I'm not going to give up on my dreams. So I felt like right out of the gate, you know, 2-3 months postpartum, I was like, okay, get back on the horse. Let's go. Come on, you can do this. When in reality, I wish, looking back, I wish I didn't do that. Like, I was telling myself in the moment, oh, this is self-love because you're getting back on the horse and you're chasing your dreams. And to a degree, it definitely was self-love, and it was very therapeutic to create that product for me. But in the same breath, I feel like self-love also would have been resting and just enjoying being a new mom and not feeling like I have to get back to an old version of myself, or, you know, launch and rebirth this new woman, you know, this woman that's like, I'm a mom and I'm a businesswoman and ha ha ha, and I'm not struggling and everything's like fantastic. And that was not my reality at all. And I tried so hard to cling to that, and I tried so hard to make that my reality. And that's the biggest advice I would give myself looking back is, girl, rest. Enjoy being a new mother. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. It's okay. And even if you don't go after your dreams right now, you will go after them and you will achieve them. Just because you're not doing what your ideal reality isn't right now doesn't mean it's never gonna come. And that's how it felt for me, that, you know, I had to put my business on hold during my pregnancy. So then in postpartum, I was like, okay, let's go, let's do it. But it was just like, it's not the right time. You need to heal, you need to bond, you need to connect, you need to integrate being a mother. There's so many other things that need your attention right now that your business can wait, you know? So this brings me to my other point, and it is actually New Year's Eve when I'm filming this video, and my word of the month for January is rest. And rest is actually, or excuse me, I actually made an acronym for the word rest, and it is
R is for replenish. It is time to fill your cup. E is for enjoy. When was the last time you did something simply because you enjoyed it? S is for surrender. Just surrender. T is for trust. It is time to trust the divine. It is time to trust yourself.
disappointment and frustration with my launch not going the way I wanted it to. And I'm hoping to carry this rest acronym, rest mindset, and throughout the whole year, but definitely the whole month of January. I'm going to break down the rest acronym the whole month here on YouTube. So today's video was all about R, replenishing, and just kind of explaining what happened to my launch and what I've been doing post failing. And it's not really even a failed launch, because I spoke with a mentor of mine, Tatiana Muse, and she said, I said that word to her, like I was like, oh, my launch failed, and she was like, how did your launch fail if your website was never live? Which is true. I really didn't fail because I didn't like launch, you know, I didn't actually get to launch. But to me, that's what I meant by like failing, that I didn't even get to the stage of making my website live. But anyway, I guess the point of this video for me was just to kind of shine a light on my experience and my as a small business owner, as someone who's trying to launch a business, my experience as a new mother trying to launch a business, and that it did not work for me in 2022. And I'm still emotionally upset about it and disappointed, not in myself, but just that I thought it was gonna work out and it didn't. And this is a huge desire of mine. So right now, instead of trying to force this to work, I am just resting. I am focusing on myself, focusing on the things I enjoy. I have surrendered this desire to God, and I trust that my efforts, my intention, my prayers have been heard, and I am going to get back on the horse and focus on my business. But I also think that sometimes to receive what you want, you kind of just have to take your hands off of it. Like, you kind of just have to look somewhere else. You know, it's like, have you ever, this is random, but have you ever like been having a conversation and you're like, oh yeah, that actor, what's their name? What is it? And you're trying to think, and you're thinking about it, it's like, oh, I know their name. I know the actor's name. And you're thinking, and you can't think about it. And you're like, you know, never mind. But then just like you forget about it, and like a day later or later that day, you remember it. And you're like, oh, Angelina Jolie. And you're in the middle of a conference office in a meeting, and everyone's like, what? And you're like, oh, I was trying to remember that name 3 days ago. That is what this is like. Like, when you are like totally just like focus in on a thing, and with your heart, with your spirit, you're just like zoned in, and you're like, I want this. This is my thing. This is all I see. There's a time and a place for that. There's a time and there's a certain time when you have to be laser focused on what you want. And then there's a time when you have to take those blinders off and like turn your head and look at something else, think about something else, do something else, because you've done all you can do. And this can be in your business. This can be in your relationship. This can be in your parenting. This can be in your marriage, in your friendship, and growing your plants, and whatever it is that you are trying to, you're trying to take this little seed and make it blossom, or whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to pull into yourself. There's a point, there's a moment where you've done all you can do. There's nothing else you can do. And for me, with my launch, I've done all that I did all that I could do at that time. And I didn't have any more resources, knowledge, and for me to keep like trying to force it, it was just going to drive me crazy and make me feel not good about myself. So I just I put it on pause, and I said, okay, let's just focus on things I like, things that bring me joy right now. And in the moment of me, spending time with my son, painting, being outside, doing things that I enjoy, I started to get inspiration for my business. Does that make sense? Like, when I distracted myself by doing something else, I actually got inspiration for the business, and I actually got the answers and the knowledge and the direction that I needed. So, yeah. And I'm also still, in an in-between stage in my business, meaning I definitely don't feel like I'm ready to launch, ready to do things. I feel like I need to go back to the drawing board, and I need to look at the foundation of my business and kind of, focus and get my foundation good first, meaning get clear on why am I starting this business, who is this business for, my mission statement, my purpose, my desire, my drive, before I kind of launch and open my store and say, hey, here's my products, come buy. I just want to be more focused. And then my foundation as a human being, not just a business owner, is kind of a little wonky, meaning like I want to have my own emotional, mental, spiritual well-being taken care of, because that's a huge part of my mission and purpose. Like I write about it, is all about helping people to express themselves and to deeper their relationship with themselves and with God. So I want to be a reflection of that. I don't want to just preach these message of self-love and not actually take care of myself. So for me, my business it's not necessarily on hold, but I'm doing more behind the scenes work right now, and I just need to focus on making sure that my roots are good, making sure my foundation is good before I start building and before I open my store and say, hey, we're here. But I will, 2023, I will launch my business. I will. I am calling it in. I will do it, and the best divine timing. And I'm going to surrender to whatever that looks like, however it goes. And I'm just going to rest for now. Do what I like, do what I enjoy. Do not push myself further than I need to be pushed. And yeah, I hope this video served you and brought you some wisdom and knowledge for your life. And I hope you can use the REST acronym. Like I said on the YouTube channel, I'm going to break down the acronym. So next week's video is going to be all about enjoy and what that looks like for me. And yeah. The question I want to leave you with is, this week's video is all about replenish. And I just want to ask you, what are you lacking? What is lacking in your life? What do you need to replenish? If you were a houseplant, what houseplant would you be? 2, what do you need? Do you need new soil? Is it your environment? Do you need more water? Do you need more sunshine? What are you lacking? Why aren't you growing? Why aren't you thriving? Why aren't you feeling the way you want to feel? Really take some time out today and reflect on that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to journal about it. I'm going to write about it. Both. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching my first video of the new year. It's still technically 2022 when I'm filming this, but when you're watching it, it's going to be 2023. So a happy new year, and I hope this new year brings you so much joy and peace and passion and love and like exhale, just like release